Welcome to Pay-to-Play report for Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. This is a PS3 game that came out in 2011. It was published by Sony and it was developed by Naughty Dog. Then, in 2015, it was re-released on PlayStation 4 as a collection of the first 3 games in this series. The game remains a PlayStation exclusive, and actually I should mention that I am playing a PlayStation 4 version of the game. The game itself is a mix of a third-person cover shooter with a 3D platformer elements and a brawler elements in here. Now, let's go in the settings, and I'm gonna show you that, well, there's nothing here when it comes to visual settings. There's nothing you can adjust or do it. And all I can say is that maybe the game runs better than on the PlayStation 5 on which I'm playing it than on PlayStation 4 because it's a better hardware that I'm using, but there's no any additions for PlayStation 5 to this game. So there's no extra downloads, any graphic improvements or so on that are occurring here. So, well, let's jump into the game, and I'm going to talk about a bit about actually what the game is about. The game, well, in the game we have here is our main character is a treasure hunter. He's looking for legendary treasure based on the clues his ancestor Francis Drake left behind. Now, this is a sole portion of the game that, well, it's the only portion of the game that I could find that I can show you the game itself as much of it as I can in terms of all the elements without kind of giving away lots of enough story and spoilers and so on about the plot. Well, you know, it's the best I could do. I'm gonna do it on the hard, even though I played the game mostly on the crashing difficulty, but I did about 70% through the game, decided to move to hard, and we'll talk about that later. So let's jump in and I'll show you exactly what we have here and how the game itself plays. Now, knowledge of plot of the prior games is not required, but I think it would help because there are certain themes that the game is trying to develop that would work better and can be understood better if you know what happened in the prior 2 games. So I would recommend doing that. So in here we are, this is the platforming section of the game. We're going to screen the place where you're scrambling and jumping and so on. Now, as you can see in this situation, the game does not doing much of a moving camera to show us what we need to do, where we need to go. In other sections it will do that, so that if it will be saying like, yeah, here it is that, you know, your goal is to move to this point from here and so on when you're going to be scrambling down on different platforms and so on. So the game does help here. It's just that this is not the situation here where it's actually the game is doing this the helping section. Now, talking of the themes that the game has, well, he should be able to jump. Maybe he will be waiting for the other guy to come by, the NPC. So, there you go. The themes here, well, there's a standard theme of good versus evil in this game.
I'll let you in if it's safe.
There we go. It's a kind of a standard theme. But there's also a few other themes in this game. So, one of the themes is greed and obsession with treasure, and it's kind of a theme developed. Here it is. You actually can see the camera is now showing us where we need to go and so on, kind of giving us a better look of things for platforming purposes. So we're going to I'm going to just keep on jumping. So back to the whole theme of greed and obsession with the treasure. The game does kind of pose a question like, well, is there, at what point should you kind of quit? Is enough of so on. And it talks about this whole greed and obsession and how it affects relationships around you, like with other people. And there's other themes such as value of family, because we have a father and son type of relationship here. We have a romantic relationship here. It's all kind of this game tries to kind of talk about all this as it intertwines with a theme of greed and obsession with treasure, but I think it just doesn't kind of fully work all the way through. It's not like it's not overall fully developed. Like the father-son dynamic I think is the best developed here in terms of that theme and so on, but other ones it's just not completely developed, and it feels like there's something is missing. Like it's not like they tried, but it's not all the way there. Now we are here at the shooting section of the game, and this is the section where it becomes annoying because you have to aim with the controller, and I don't really like aiming with controller due to how slow that is to here. But I did manage to play the game on a crushing difficulty, the highest difficulty you can play the game when you start off. There's one higher difficulty later on, I guess, if you beat on crashing, go further up. But I managed to go through 70% of the game through that, and the reason for it is because the game has other elements in it that help with this kind of situation. Here we have ability to do like a silent takedown of the enemies, which kind of thin out the hurt a bit. There's also situations where we have NPCs helping us deal with different enemies. So I'm just gonna jump here now. I'm just gonna try to get this portion so I can take out this guy in hand-to-hand combat. And the hand-to-hand combat is here in this game is present. It's very important. There we go. I did the wrong thing. Thankfully, I did not get noticed. I was not going to go ahead and jump down. I need to jump here and deal with this one. There you go. So, like I said, you have here hand-to-hand combat that makes the whole combat sections much easier. So you rely less on the fact that you need to aim with the controller and so on. I think that's the max I can do here without kind of getting in the major fight with the enemies. And I want to be slightly higher to do so because I think it would be easier for me to aim at the same time. And oh, I was going to say, and I missed the jump, but I didn't. Good. So it's gonna go up. And we're going to go ahead and there's one enemy there, so we're just gonna aim and shoot him. Now, there should be another one somewhere there. I'm just not seeing him. Here he is. But this is a bit of an easier section for shooting part because, well, as you can see, I don't have to do much here. Thankfully, the enemies just kind of prove themselves to be easier. Like I said, I went through the whole game, about 70% through the game before I turned down the difficulty, which is very different from the first and second game where I had to turn down the difficulty very early on in the game because the shooting sections were getting to me. Here again, I turned down the difficulty because while I knew what I needed to do, I just wasn't turning fast enough to kind of face these enemies that were coming from different directions to kind of deal with them. And I said, okay, I had enough, I'm just gonna go ahead and deal with the enemies on a lower difficulty. Alright, let's do this. Okay. So let's let our NPC here in. So from that perspective again, I think the game does good enough job to kind of make the fighting sections here easier. Given that you have to work with controller and given the fact that when I do so, I kind of always think that, well, if I had a mouse, it would have been so much easier. Right? So we're gonna solve this puzzle by button mashing here. Now talking about button mashing, I do have a problem with the final boss in this game. It does involve button mashing in a certain, following certain sequence and so on. And I remember I was doing it. I'm like, oh, I'm half an hour into this fight, and I'm still, progressed anywhere. And then I'm like, oh well, I think I'm just not mashing buttons fast enough. So I literally put down controller and mash the button with different fingers so that I could actually hit it with enough speed so that the sequence that has supposed to happen happened. Anyway, back to what I was going to say here before I started button mashing. It was that, well, visually, let's look at this game. Visually, I like this game. I really like it. Like, if you look at it, it's all very nicely done. Like, besides castles, there's going to be, you're gonna have a lush nature surroundings, beautiful nature, beautiful towns and cities and so on. And when you look at it, it's like the design, everything is so well done. Like you can see, like, oh yeah, sure, there's sections here that are there for provide us cover because we have cover shooting in this mechanic and so on. But other things here in the game is just there and they aesthetically look good. Like it's not there just to kind of filler. Just to fill the screen. It's not like something that's been copy pasted to fill in the screen. They all look like they've been placed with a purpose. It's in design and so on. Like I really like that. Music in this game is also good. I did prefer music in the first and second game more. Here the music kind of themes matches the theme of the fact that we are going through places that are mostly in Arabic land, so the music kind of reflects that. That's good, but again, I'm not as usual. I'm not playing the music because usually that has some kind of a right holders, copyrights, and so on. I don't want to deal with that kind of problems. Okay, so that's why for my reports I usually turn the music off. Alright, here we go, and we're gonna jump down now. So what to do in this game? Well,
Anything down there?
unlike the PlayStation 3 version, PlayStation 4 version does not have a multiplayer available in it, and so you get to play the campaign. That's all you get. Now we're gonna wait for this guy to come up here, and once you're done the campaign, you can play it on different difficulty levels. That's pretty much what you get. That's kind of the approach you'll be taking. There's also collectibles that we found on the different levels. Collectibles do not serve any kind of a function when it comes to in terms of well, they don't in any way reduce no, not to reduce change the gameplay or change the story or anything like that. So you kind of the collectibles are there, and so that's, you know, you can collect them, but that's all. As I said, there's no benefit to it in the story-wise section itself. Oh. All right, so we got this. Let's continue on. I think actually I pick up the ammo here from this guy. All right, good. So let's jump up. Alright, let's do this.
Back up, I'll shoot the lock.
What else to mention in the game? Well, actually, interesting thing that I should mention is that when I switched from crashing difficulty to hard, I noticed that the prompts during the hand-to-hand portion of the fighting in the game began to appear. In the crashing difficulty, they only appear once to kind of tell you what to do, and then after that, the idea is that, well, you should know what to press and next and so on. And then on the hard difficulty, these things reappeared again. They tell me like, oh, you should press this button now, and so on. So it kind of makes it that portion also easier. Although I don't know, it's not that it was really needed, but you know, it's good that it's there. So I'm just gonna run here. It's gonna start the film. We're gonna skip that, so I'm not gonna show you any spoilers. There it is. So what else? Well, there's also action sequences, like, you know, where explosions, ladders break, you know, roofs break, and so on. There's one portion of the game where it's like just one of these action sequences after another, just one after another. It was getting to me because I was like, okay, game, stop showing me pictures and get to the actual, you know, gameplay. I just want section that I want to play the game at. Now, thankfully, it's not occurring as often as you know.
Get down.
In the game, it's only, I think, like I really was frustrated with that only once in the game, but you know, it still happens.
Sneak out plan.
There you go. So
we can't quit now. Yeah, not when we're so close.
So I think
find a way around them.
Overall, like this is you know, this are some of the bigger points I would like to make about the game. And now, just to kind of summarize things, and for that I do, let's deal with these enemies here. I need to go pick up a weapon for this purposes. This will do. Oh. Oh, I don't have to. I have enough grenades already. Okay, good. So let's go hide from here, and we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna be stuck now aiming with the controller. Okay, and as you see, NPCs are helping me, so it gives me a bit more time to aim. And like I said before, the fact that the game gave me, you know, the fact that we have NPCs helping me, it gives me a bit more time to aim. I was able to take advantage of it. I actually can also throw back the grenades, just so that, you know, make that clear. Makes the whole, you know, sections here like this much easier and less frustrating. But overall, like I said, you know, game gives me enough stuff here so so it works. All the elements in the game work when it comes to it overall. So I do feel that this is a good game, like based on all this kind of ambush sections. When it comes to, okay, I'm gonna run away from that so that I don't have to deal with this. Right, that's here. This is the gun that I need. Okay, I need this gun. Oh, by the way, here's a collectible right there.
It's a grenade!
Ah. Come on. There you go, one down, and where is he? Come on. Ah. So when it comes to coolness rating of this game, I would say this is a cool game for reason that I do, there are interesting action sequences and so on. There are puzzles where you have to solve how to open doors to this ancient castles and cities and so on. So all these kind of elements are there. It's just that I don't think there's just enough of them compared to what other elements I've seen before, and especially in the second game, to make this game anything more than just cool. But like there's the elements that it has make it cool. It's just something is a bit just missing. It's not sufficient enough here. But like I really like the other gameplay elements here. Well, I think they are much better than in the Uncharted 2. But like just some elements were not. Was not not all there. Well, so overall, this is a good cool game, and I guess that's all I have to say about this game. Thank you for watching and for listening. If you like this video, please like it. If you didn't like it, this video, don't like it, and please follow, subscribe. Alright, I think I got all of them here. Nope, no, here's another one. There we go, now we got it. So that's it. Like I said, thank you for watching, and please follow and subscribe.
There's an entrance at the base of the tower.